here we go, as the tune starts to bloom with a fat, fat sack of potato. What up? What up? What up? Shout out to the CIA. Just leaving my tailor, getting my fall nip and tucks done. Gentlemen, you want to always make sure that you look nice, tight, and smart. Smart looking clothing when you go outside. Ladies, you must look elegant and chic. Okay? If for those who if you haven't noticed on my channel, I've started to take a different kind of tact. I'm talking to the top 20% of men and women. That's who I'm targeting my message towards. That does not mean that it's not for everybody, but honestly, I'm a businessman, right? And I'm not doing this for my health. I'm doing this to make money. And I need people, and I'm going to target the people who can and will hire people like myself and purchase, products and services. That's a different category than everybody else, man. And that's fine. There's enough room for it all. So just know if you're the kind of guy who always wants to shop in the Gap, no matter if you make $30,000 a year or $30 million a year, you're just a Gap dude. No problem. But Gap guys don't hire image consultants. There's a reason you don't see many certified image consultants working in the middle market. Now, somebody asked me this question before. Let me go ahead and lay this out here. I am an actual corporate and personal image consultant. I am certified at the master level. So, the association, the American Association, what is that? The Association of Image Consultants International, AICA. It's the largest, most recognized governing body of image consultants in the world. The reality is, like coaching, like life coaching or anything like that, dating coaching, anybody can hang their shingle out and say they're an image consultant. Heck, I had a guy who you can do that. But to be an actual certified professional, you have to pass tests. You actually have to have an actual business. You actually have to have been published, meaning you have to have 10,000 hours of work, a client base, verifiable clients. You have to be able to pass multiple tests. And here's the last part of it. If you don't have a book, you have to at least have been featured in magazines, notable magazines, or on television. That's where I've been. Oklahoma has 3 notable magazines. I've been in all 3 of them. I used to have an actual style. So the bottom line is this. I didn't just hang a shingle out and call myself an image consultant. I've done all the work behind the scenes. Now, I'll tell you this, all the certifications and tests did not make me one bit better than I already was. Either you have an eye for this or you don't. So going to learn color analysis, body shape, that kind of stuff, it's kind of like just your basics. But I was also say this: when you become a corporate image consultant, completely different, because you're working with companies, personal branding. You're working with, companies, professional branding, helping organizations develop dress codes, lining up how their human capital lines up with the brand. So corporate image consulting is a different level. I love doing that, but the point I'm making is image consultants aren't for the bulk of people. It's just not. If you're an average guy, making $20 an hour, you work for Coca-Cola and you actually drive a truck with Coca-Cola and you stack the sodas and stuff like that. You don't really need an image consultant. You may need some help picking out some key pieces, but your image is pretty much given to you by the company you work for. Anyway, I don't want to get too far off this. The whole time, the point of this stream was called Know Your Value. Let me make a complete segue. Knowing your value. When you're in business, do you know your value? Meaning this: if you had to start doing what you do right now as a business for yourself, how much would you charge? How much would you charge? And I would say this: the vast majority of people undercharge for their services. It's natural. We've been raised to be employees. So if you're an accountant at a major firm or even a small independent, you are used to getting a salary. So when you actually hang your shingle out, how much are you going to charge? First thing is, you're not going to value yourself correctly. You're going to say, well, I'm new to the business. I don't have any clients. I'm this, I'm that. I should, let me lower my price so I can get customers. That is a horrible idea. This is why I say, men, if you want to have the best chance of being successful in this world, learning how to be a professional salesperson is the best thing, because when you actually learn how to sell, which is really what it sells, the transference of energy, transference of emotion, you transfer uncertainty. When you actually learn how to sell something, you can state your value. Ask yourself a question. Why is it that if you ever known an insurance salesperson, State Farm, Farmers, Allstate, these things, if you ever known real estate salespeople, why is it that you have people who work for the same company, same products, same services? One person may be making $30,000 or $40,000 a year. Another person's making $400,000 or $500,000 a year. What's the difference? What's the difference? One person believes differently. Do you think if you actually started your own business, you could actually charge what you want to charge, or would you be too afraid to put your business out there and say, my time is worth $500 an hour? Would you do that? Most people undervalue themselves. So you look at the job you have, the city you live in, you look at everything around you, and that is a statement of whether you value yourself. I mean, stop right now and just look. Look in the mirror, or go back through some pictures on your Facebook or Instagram and just say, this is a snapshot of how I value myself or what I think about myself. And it only becomes, when it becomes an issue? When somebody that you think is lower value than you and they actually value themselves higher. Let's say as a woman, you are naturally quote unquote pretty, but you don't carry yourself in a feminine, beautiful, inspirational manner. Then you see a woman who's not as pretty as you, but she's consistently getting chased after by high value men. And you're looking at her like, well, how's that possible? I can tell you how. She values herself more than you value yourself. As a man, you wonder why you still dealing with the same caliber and quality of woman. And you see a guy who you think is not as cool as you, not as attractive as you, don't make as much money as you, whatever, but yet he has a far better caliber and class of woman. Why? Because of how he values himself. Shout out to Coach Red Pill. Coach Red Pill, he's an average looking guy at best. And he only dated models when he was single. I tell you right now, I have clients that if you saw a snapshot of them, these guys were like, oh, that guy is, at best. Only deal with smoking hot women. Why? Because they have a high value, they have a high estimation of themselves. Now see, the thing about your value is you have to value yourself highly, but the market decides. Now that's the twist. You value yourself highly, but the market tells you where you are. And this is where we get that proper appraisal kind of thing. What I do in my career, what I do in my world is I actually give guys appraisals. But I don't just give you, I actually show you how to increase your value. Yep. Give you a proper appraisal and show you how to increase your value. So you can end up dealing with the kind of opportunities you want in life, whether personally or professionally. See, honestly, most people are afraid to value themselves highly. You're afraid, they're like, oh man, I don't want to say that I'm worth that much. The market won't pay that. It'll be like my services. If I put my services at $50 an hour because I didn't want to offend the market, guess what? There will be people who will complain about it at $50 an hour. And if somebody complains about how much my virtual consultation costs, I'm like, it's not a problem. It's not my services aren't too expensive. You just don't have enough money to pay for them, and that's fine. You need to ask yourself, what is your value? How are you valuing yourself, and are you accepting less than you are worth? Because here's the thing, if you want to undervalue yourself, nobody's going to stop you. If you want to undercharge for your services, if you want to undercharge for your time, nobody's going to stop you. Nobody. But let me say this, number two. When you start a business out, like here on YouTube, the people who comment on my videos are not my clients. They're not my clients. The people who comment on my videos aren't my clients. The people who watch the videos, the people who comment in the chat room, they aren't my clients. 99% of the people who patronize my business never say a word. So ask yourself a question. If you were me, would you be making your content for the people who talk or the people who buy? That's one of the biggest unlocks when you are a business owner. See, when you're a salesperson, there's two kind of people. There's buyers and liars. You got to learn the people who are talkers and time wasters. Then you got to learn the people who are buyers and the people who are motivated buyers. Again, all the consultations I've done this week, people don't speak in my chat room. Let me also say this. I've had guys ask me here recently if my service is for black people only. No. That's an issue, and this is what happens when you start actually speaking about race. Understand something. If I had to break my business down, my business is extremely varied. My business is extremely varied. I'm not going to go into the exact numbers, but image, somebody said that's just stupid. Well, I can understand, because my business is such that some people found me through fragrance videos. Some people find me through style videos. And somebody that does live stream and talks about corporate image consulting and that kind of stuff. I'm the only one on YouTube that does this. Why doesn't Alpha M or Real Men Real Style or Jose or Alex Costa or any of these guys talk about it? Because they're not qualified to. Can I break my services down quickly? No. That's what my website is for. Here's why I don't do that. I don't break my services down quickly. If you're serious about learning my services, you will do the professional thing and go to my website. When I'm talking and live streaming, I'm talking about a topic. I'm not selling my services. And here's the reality. What did I just say? People who are looking to work with me, they're not talking in the chat room. They're not commenting on the videos. They're going to the website. That's the net of it. And what I'm saying that is learn something from that as a business person. They're especially with social media. There will be a large amount of people who will consistently comment, watch your videos, and those people are great. I love that. That's conversation, that's engagement. But that does not make them your client base. You need to identify your client base, market and sell to those people. Because here's the reality. Most of the people who comment in the chat room and that kind of stuff, they know your business. They understand it's there, but they're not purchasing it. For whatever reason. That's all you need to know is they're not. So you can't make a business decision based off of that. You know what? We need to talk more about this at a later date. I got an appointment to get into. Actually, I think I'm gonna make this a Patreon exclusive video. The question came up earlier today about why people don't put certain information out online. Well, certain information is only for clients. YouTube is a great place to interact with the public, but the public is not your client. You could own a sushi restaurant, and it could be in Buckhead, but you could be in the shops at Buckhead, but not everybody's going to be your client, your customer. The people who like sushi will be your who are going to be your customers? People who like sushi, steak. People who eat steak, they may walk right by it. They may say this is a nice spot. They may be word of mouth and tell people they know a sushi restaurant, but they can't give any recommendations because they're not your client. All right, folks, I got to get out of here. Until next time, talk.